When we were in medical school, they teach you to identify tissues by looking at them in the microscope. And the way you tell is by how the cells look and how they're organized. The difference between health and disease is how the cells are organized. What we realized as graduate students in the 90s was that this computer chip technology, which allows you to draw circuits on silicon wafers, could be used to draw cells on surfaces. And that's really the secret sauce of the company.
You're good. It's all about how we leave behind a better world. And for me, that is through science, finding things that are going to help change patient lives. My name is Chris Chen. I'm a professor in biomedical engineering.
I'm Sangeeta Bhatia. I'm a professor at MIT. The story for Satellite kind of starts back in graduate school when Chris and I were in graduate school together. We won't say what date that was, but it was a long time ago. And, after we finished our MD PhD training, we both became professors and started labs. There was this computer chip technology that had become available to us. We were probably two of the only people in Boston, maybe even in the world, doing that. And our labs were actually in some sense competing, but we were friends. We were working on sort of different sides of the same problem.
We realized that as academics, we didn't have the engine in our labs to actually figure out how to translate that into a commercial product. Trying to start a company and raise the funds and the resources that are necessary and the expertise to actually make that happen was something that I think Sangeeta and I both knew was a necessary step. We engineer cells and materials together to form basically a synthetic tissue that you can then implant and replace damaged tissue function.
We call them tissue therapeutics, and they can replace all these defective tissues. Our lead product is in the liver disease area, and it's one of these areas of medicine where there actually are no treatments. When people think about disease, usually we think about medicine, like I'm gonna take a drug. And then there are other diseases that like devices work for. Like if you break your hip, you can get like an artificial hip implant. But there's a lot of things that your body does that a small molecule can't work for or a device can't work for. You actually need a living cell to do the job of that organ to stay alive. Making a medicine out of a living cell is actually really hard.
Yeah.
Sangeeta and Chris are truly two of the most innovative and prolific scientists that I've had the pleasure to work with. We immediately connected. I believe that they have a very unique combination of a highly differentiated technology, very robust science that have been incubating in Sangeeta's and Chris's labs for over a decade. And it's always incredible to see how fast they're able to make progress.
The Moon really helped us organize and build our team, understanding competitive landscape, looking at different ways in which we want to build our company out.
Helping us see our project kind of reflected in the landscape of what they see. That's been really helpful, I think, for differentiating our story.
Satellite is the future of the health tech revolution. I mean, this is what we're all imagining, right? That in the future, you would have replacement organs. I think that this is where we're heading.
We can replace damaged body parts with living cells. In the near term, that'll be the liver, but we imagine that that will be many other tissues that today there are no replacements for. We hope that we are the pioneer that's leading that kind of category.